Welcome back to the Talk Heroes podcast. In today's episode, we're just going to do a bunch of fun, NBA scenarios, and pretty much we're kind of just waiting for the NBA season to start. Next week, we will be doing the standing predictions and award predictions. We're going to record it right now, but I'm going to give you guys a bunch of, or I think it's like 4 or 5 different NBA players, one at a time, and pretty much there's these like point per game props on betting websites, and I'm gonna ask you guys over or under these players averaging this many points per game. Let's start with LaMelo Ball with 21.5. Do you think I think last year, I can look it up, I think he averaged like 20.1, I think.
What is the line?
21.5.
Easiest
over.
Yeah,
it's got to be over. I mean, he's the only one taking shots on that team.
LaMelo Ball will at
That
least,
is no Bridges.
LaMelo Ball will at least average 24 this season.
24. That's a stretch.
Who's scoring?
I'll give him 22.
Who's scoring?
No one has to
You're
score.
not gonna have enough space to score.
Colin Sexton scored 25.
But the thing is, he's gonna be putting up a lot of shots regardless.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, he's gonna get it.
Apparently, Mason Plumlee starting.
And Colin Sexton's a better scorer than LaMelo Ball. I don't know why you just said that.
LaMelo, he's gonna score 20. He's averaged 20 last year. He can't score 4 more points per game without help.
You mean like 2? Because his line is 21.
Well, he's saying 24 points per
I'm
game.
saying he's
I
average-
think
I think-
You're
yeah.
saying 24.
I think
I think he'll average 24.
I can see it. I mean, his assists are gonna drop.
Okay. So these actually look pretty easy. Cade Cunningham is up next with 19.5. I think last year he averaged 17, and he didn't even really have the greatest start to the NBA. So I think jumping up 2 points per game shouldn't be too hard, to be honest. What do you guys think?
I'd say in the 20s at least.
That's an easy.
What's the line
19.5.
for Booker?
No, for
Cade.
Cade.
Easy over.
Where did
Sorry,
Booker go
sorry.
from? Okay. Next up, Anthony Edwards at a weird line of 23.1. I don't know
I'm not
why
gonna
it's
lie,
so
I'm
weird.
going under. I'm going under.
So I'm pretty sure originally it actually was at 23.5. I think everyone just kept picking the under. I think what the whole reason is, I mean, as much as Rudy Gobert isn't a scorer, he still is putting up at least 14, 15 a game on a playoff team.
It's also because a lot of his buckets last year would just be from rim running, and now Gobert's in the paint.
Yeah,
So
that's
a
true.
lot of his rim running opportunities might be taken away because of that.
I'm gonna say under, but I think Ant's gonna improve his efficiency this year.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say under, but I see him shooting a lot better this year.
Okay, I'll be the only one who goes over. Next up, Anthony Davis at 24 points per game.
He's
I
gonna average around that. I don't think he'll go. I don't know. I think it'll be 24 exactly.
You think it will?
Actually, no. Give me over. Give me over.
So
Give me over.
yeah, 2 years ago he averaged 21. It was like a pretty bad year, and then last year he averaged about 22.5. I think.
Give me the over.
The over.
Give me the over.
I'll go the over too. I think he has to eventually take a next step in being kind of the future leader of the Lakers, and I'll say it's this year. I'll go the over.
I'm gonna go over too. I think he's gonna have to take on more of a role this year, and I think if he's healthy, LeBron, I just don't see him playing more than like 3/4 of the season because these last few years LeBron's missed time with injuries, and I think as long as AD's healthy, he's gonna have a more improved role, or not a more improved role, a bigger role in those games. So he's gonna be taking more shots anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over too. Even last year, he only played 40 games. He still averaged 23. He wasn't healthy all year anyway, so
Okay.
over.
And then the last player we have is RJ Barrett at 20.8. I think last year he averaged about 20. Actually, it might have been like early 20, like 20.1, 20.2.
It was 20 exactly.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Under.
You're going
I
under?
think Brunson's gonna take away some
Yeah,
shots from him.
under.
I'm going under. I think though he'll have a similar season to Ant in that I think he's going to improve his efficiency, but he's just not going to have as many shots with Brunson on the team.
Okay, I'm going to go over. I guess I went over on every single one, but just RJ Barrett, I mean, to end the season last season, he averaged like 24, 25 points per game. I know you're adding Brunson, and I guess they didn't really even lose any scoring options, but I'm going to come with the hot take. I still think RJ is that good of a scorer, and he's so young still.
He shot 40.8% from the field.
Like, you got to shoot
He's
better
taking
this
a
season.
lot
Yeah.
of shots to get to those 20.8 points.
That's true. I mean, the Knicks kind of gave up and just gave RJ all the keys last year. I don't know. I'm still going to go the over.
I mean, Thibodeau does love playing his top players a lot of minutes, so I could see RJ playing
Yeah.
a lot and getting a lot more points.
yeah, I can see it. Unless Grimes takes a step up. Quentin Grimes looked pretty good in
I
this
guess,
one, really.
but didn't you see what he said? Is that he's not going to start Grimes? He
Oh, I
wants
wouldn't
to start Fournier instead of Grimes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Fournier's more.
ew.
I don't like that.
I don't like that
That's
either.
disgusting.
Fournier's old too.
Mm-hmm. I don't see why you don't start the young guys at this point
Yeah.
because it just doesn't make sense. It feels like they're holding on to trying to be in playoff contention by starting all these veterans instead of trying to develop their younger players. And I just think at some point they need to kind of do a little bit of a reset, you still have Brunson and Barrett. You need to get rid of Randall. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
that's the first thing.
I think you start Fournier against the Celtics and bench him every other game. He went off that game.
I mean, the Knicks feel like the whole organization. It feels like you got to treat them like an addict right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the first step to recovery is admitting that you have a problem, and they refuse to admit that they have a problem, and they're going to finish as the 11th or 12th seed every year until they do.
Okay. So yeah, that's it for that segment. Now we're going to go to a couple of Would You Rathers. I actually have this kind of scenario that I want to bring up real quick, and then we can do some of yours, Cam. So there were a bunch of, after the 2017-2018 season, the rookies from that class looked really good and all looked like stars. A couple of them have kind of plateaued. If any of these players were to make an all-star game, who would it be? So the options are Lonzo Ball, Lauri Markkanen, Kyle Kuzma, and Markelle Fultz. Out of those 4 players, who would be most likely to make an all-star game?
Kuz, yeah.
Kuzma.
It's
You
just
think
because
Kuzma?
I want to say Lonzo, but
I've heard
I don't
reports
know.
Lonzo's going to be out for the year.
Yeah,
So
I don't know. Lonzo's.
I'm not
And
trusting
then
Lonzo.
he just doesn't score that much.
Okay, I'm gonna have to come with a hot take then. Even though I kind of do want to say Markelle Fultz because I kind of believe in him that way. He's too many injuries. Lauri Markkanen, before the Bulls started using him as a spot up shooter, was looking like Dirk. The amount of bag that he showed in his sophomore season, averaging 18.5 points per game. It was on a losing team, and there weren't too many options. But I still believe that he can be a go-to scorer, especially on the Utah Jazz. I mean, the only other scoring option really that they care about is Colin Sexton. I feel like he's going to get a lot of shots up. Maybe not this season, maybe next season, but I could definitely see it happening.
Okay, but the argument I would make to that is that players don't make the All-Star team on bad teams unless your name is already established. So guys like DeJounte Murray that made the All-Star game this year on a bad team, and even the Spurs were in contention for a play-in spot, people knew who DeJounte Murray was already. Right? And it's not like people don't know who Lauri Markkanen is, but commonly Lauri Markkanen is kind of a little bit of a joke player at times. Like people don't really think, some people don't even think he should be a starter. So I don't think that, even if he averages all-star numbers on a bad Jazz team, I still don't see him making the All-Star game this year. And I don't know if he's good enough to make an All-Star game on a good team or make an All-Star team on a good team.
I don't know. I could see Lauri Markkanen was misutilized on the Cavaliers because while it helped the Cavaliers to have Lauri Markkanen at the 3, that's just definitely not the play style you want him at. He cannot defend at the 3. It just it was so awful. The Bulls in the last couple of years misutilized him. I just feel like he can change around the entire premise of who he is on the Utah Jazz. But I mean, I guess I could see Kuzma, but I just think there's so many good forwards in the East, and there are good forwards in the West for Lauri Markkanen. But Kyle Kuzma isn't even. He's gonna be the 3rd option, and you could even say the Wizards have 0 All-Stars. So to say Kyle Kuzma could be an All-Star at all,
I mean, they have
Oh,
Bradley
yeah, they have
Beal
Bradley
and
Beal.
Porzingis.
Yeah.
Both of those guys could make an All-Star
Are you
team.
talking
They can.
next year or the rest of their career?
I'm just talking about the rest of the career. The
Kuzma-
first one to make
Kuzma,
an
yeah.
All-Star. I don't
Kuzma's
know.
most likely, I believe,
Yeah,
out of those bunch of
he
players.
has the best tools out of any of those players, especially for the numbers he puts
And he's
up.
also shown the most.
Okay. Cam, you have a couple of Would You Rathers? And then
Yeah,
we'll
I
get back to
do.
mine.
So, this is kind of something I thought of the other day. If you were building a team right now as an NBA executive, would you rather build around Ja Morant or Zion Williamson? And obviously, this was a big debate when they got drafted initially. It's been something that people have debated, and I thought it'd be interesting to hear kind of what you guys think on that.
So I actually had that as one of my Would You Rathers. So if we skip right to it, it's easily Zion Williamson. Okay, Zion is something we've never seen before. He had one of the most efficient seasons ever by someone who averaged at least 28 points per game. He's coming back now. He played, even though Steven Adams, it's really easy for an inside guy to score. When you have a good playmaking big in Steven Adams, he actually has someone who can stretch the floor now at the center position in Jonas Valanciunas. The paint's gonna be way more wide open. Herb Jones is, he's gonna be able to shoot it. CJ is gonna be spacing it. Brandon Ingram is gonna be spacing it. I just think Zion's just. I don't think the points per game will be there, and John Morant's gonna beat him in that. But just overall as a player, I'm taking Zion.
I'm simply taking John Morant because of health issues. And because you saw what Memphis was before John Morant got there. John Morant turned that Memphis team into a bunch of dogs. And before that, who even was on that team before that?
I don't know, but I know that John Morant when the Grizzlies didn't have John Morant, they had an amazing winning percentage.
Yeah, but they could barely make it out of the first round
Yeah.
I was talking about last year.
last year. You said him before John Morant.
Oh, if you're talking about before John, I mean, I don't know.
I mean, if you want to go like all the way
Yeah,
back to the
Grant-
Grit and Grind Grizzlies,
Grit and
but if
Grind
you
made
go, like the
made
year
some good
before,
runs.
I think they were obviously bad because they had a top 2 pick.
they were only bad for like a year or two. I mean,
They were a 2 seed. They were, yeah.
I mean, they made the conference finals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the year after that Jaw got there, they made it to the playoffs.
And you got to also think about the other pieces they've put around him. You know, Desmond Bane's no scrub.
Desmond Bane's a hoop.
Dylan Brooks is a dog. Like,
Well, yeah, neither is Brandon Ingram. Neither is.
JJJ should be a
dude,
defensive
I'm
player of the
saying-
year.
I'm saying it's not just John Morant that made that team what it is. It's coaching.
No, I'm
too.
saying he made that
It's
the
a culture.
vibe around.
He's talking
Yeah, the
about the
culture,
culture.
exactly. The
I mean,
culture.
I guess.
He changed that culture around the
That is
360.
true. that is
And I don't think Zion can change a culture like
He
that.
can't. No.
He doesn't. He's not that vocal.
I'm still taking Zion.
I mean, we
though.
don't know that if he isn't vocal. I mean, I guess
he's been in the league for 3. This is his 3rd year now.
I think that the injury problems with Zion are very overrated because he's only had like 1, maybe 2. The only reason he was held out for so long is because he just misutilized his injury last season
He also missed time his
weight
first
because of
year.
the injury.
His first year. He missed a bunch of time.
I mean, if you're looking at him now, too, he looks.
He always missed stints of time, but
No,
like
he
when he
doesn't.
plays, it's unquestionable. The
He
talent's
missed
there.
like 8 games
the
this
first
season.
season.
So
The
first
second
year-
season, he missed like 8 games.
No,
he was healthy like the whole season.
I looked it up. He played, and that it was a 72 game season. He
Yeah.
played 61 games out of
That's not
72.
bad. Yeah, that's good.
And this most recent year, I'm just looking at how many games Jaws played. 67 games in 2019-2020, 63 games in 2020-2021, and then 57 games this year. So he may not, like, I think we definitely have reason to be concerned about Zion's health because he missed an entire season. But it's not as if Jaw's staying healthy for a whole year either. He has yet to play more than, I mean, and granted, that's a 72 game season.
And Jaw got hurt at the end of the playoffs. He still doesn't know how to land.
Jaws,
still
Both
does.
these guys rely on their athleticism a lot.
Jaws one hell of a player, but when you see what Zion can do on the floor, it's generational. So I'm going Zion.
Okay, so we have what? Wait, who are you going, Cam?
So, I'm definitely going Zion. I don't think it's a question in my mind. John Morant is a great player. I think he definitely has top 10 player in the league potential. I don't think he's there yet. I think people are putting him there, and I don't think he deserves to be top 10 in the NBA
Give
right
him a
now.
couple of years.
But he definitely is going to get there. But if you look at what Zion Williamson can do on the basketball court, it is a
Generational.
level of
In the
dominance.
regular season,
It
we've
is a-
never seen him in the playoff time. We've never seen.
Wait till
He's
this year.
young.
We've never
Wait
seen.
till this
We've
year.
never
But
seen.
we're gonna see it
gameplay
this year.
around Zion.
We're gonna see it this year
Have we ever
because
seen
there
teams
is no
gameplay
game
around
plan.
Zion?
How do you game plan around a guy like LeBron early in his career?
Well,
You don't.
You
There's
don't.
nothing to game plan for that level of physicality,
You don't.
athleticism,
You
and
don't.
speed.
You don't.
And I think people underrate his playmaking too.
That's what I was gonna
because-
say. He
Yeah,
has the
yeah.
most underrated playmaking in the league.
I love Zion.
I wouldn't say the
love
most
Zion.
underrated playmaking, but it's definitely up there.
It's up there,
because
dude. He's a sneaky playmaker.
He really is. And when they played him at point guard, like they had him bringing the ball up towards the end of that season when you know he was actually playing.
Yeah.
He was very successful in that role.
If he gets a jumper down, the league is in trouble, bro.
People forget
The
his first game ever. He hit like 4
Yeah,
or 5
bro.
3-pointers.
The
And
league's
everyone
in
thought he was gonna
Dude, no,
have
I'm not gonna
to
lie.
shot.
Never
okay,
shot a three.
He just didn't shoot it,
on
yeah.
Zion's debut. I think I've told you guys this, but on Zion's debut, I was watching the game with my dad, and he was like newer to basketball. He's a Lakers fan, and I pretty much like summed it up like, yeah, they got this guy and they gave us AD. And when we were watching Zion's first game, he was making all the threes. My dad was like, "This guy's better than AD." it was like really funny.
He might be. Still.
Okay. Wow. All right. No.
We can talk about that
We're
later.
not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. I'm sorry. We're not doing that.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to this. Would you rather? Would you rather have? And I think I told you this, Mateen, yesterday. Evan Mobley or Victor Wembanyama right now. It's so random because we haven't seen Victor play, but people say he's the greatest prospect since LeBron. Which
Yeah.
I've heard that at least like 3 or 4 times though. People said that about Zion. Said that about Cade. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Personally, I think Evan Mobley's proven already. I mean, he had a really good rookie season. It should have been rookie of the year, personally. And we really don't know, even though we know Victor Wembanyama, his length is going to help him rim protect, we don't know actually how good of a defender he will be.
Yeah.
If I'm a taking team, picking Victor. If I'm trying to contend, I'm picking Mobley. Simple as that.
Makes sense.
In terms of building around a player, I'm picking Wembanyama.
Yeah.
Just because there is
You've never seen that. We've never seen a player like
but
that.
you've never. I mean,
And
I
you
watched
gotta
some of
take
his
that. You
highlights
just have to
too,
take that.
and like his more recent highlights, because you'll see highlights from a player from like 2 years ago or something to make assumptions off of that. But I saw some of his recent highlights from like the last month. The way he moves on the basketball
It's
court
un-
is insane
it's
for a guy that's
crazy.
that tall.
It-
I mean, durability
It should be
is
illegal.
always a concern for guys that look like him.
Yeah.
We already saw it with Chad.
Yeah.
And that was a freak incident, but like,
It was, yeah.
you know, that's the concern is like one wrong landing, one wrong step, all of a sudden this guy is the next Greg Oden. He's
And Wembanyama
plagued
is
by
almost,
injuries.
he's still 18.
He
The dude
is.
can still grow. He
I
can
know.
still get taller.
I mean, we saw that how Giannis got bigger. Like
Mm-hmm.
he could get bigger too, and I mean, so could guys like Chet. Any of those guys could get bigger, but anyway,
Yeah, that's probably fine.
we've ever seen anyone like Wembanyama.
Mm-hmm.
And if
Yeah.
he stays healthy, he'll be the best.
You
player
know what
in
you
the
get with
league.
Mobley, but I'm taking the risk for Wembanyama. You kind of have to, because
Yeah.
if he is what he can be,
Like, imagine if he has the work ethic of Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
That man's going to be the best player of all time.
that's not even
that's hard to do though. That's really hard.
not
to do.
everybody
hard to
has
do.
It's
that.
hard to do, but
Not everybody has that.
Yeah.
you're in the NBA for a reason.
But even
It's how
just
bad
as
he wants it.
even just as he is now, I'm still taking him over Mobley.
Yeah.
Even if he doesn't put on any more weight, because
I
I still
mean-
think his basketball talent is just so unique.
It's a tough
Mobley
question.
already is a top 10 defender in the league.
Mobley's
he can already
proven, bro.
shoot.
Mobley
You know what
already-
you get with
yeah.
Mobley, and he's gonna get better.
Yeah, but there's
Damn, that's a hard question.
There's something exciting about a guy like that. That's a guy that can turn a franchise around. There's
You think Evan Mobley can't?
I'm saying I haven't seen Evan
Did
Evan
AD do
Mobley,
it?
like
Could Tim Duncan turn a franchise around?
He had David Robinson,
no,
though.
he didn't turn a
He
franchise
did.
around.
He had help.
I'm saying could he?
Could he?
Yeah.
He had David
I
Robinson,
don't think so.
Tony
No.
Parker,
The
Ginobili.
greatest power forward ever can't turn a
Yeah.
franchise around. Giannis can.
Yeah.
It's
I think there's a
it's
difference. There's a
situational.
difference in
It's
play
very-
styles.
it is
There's
very
a difference in
situational.
play styles.
I agree.
You know. Even if a player, do you need to move it?
Yeah, I'll put it more toward Luke.
Even if a player is as good as another player, play style does matter in terms of how you impact a team as the best player on that team, right?
Yeah.
So,
Okay. What do you have next, Cam?
should we throw out another would you rather?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Would you rather have Giannis or Jokic as the cornerstone of your team?
Giannis or Jokic?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Giannis, because free agency time, people are gonna want to play for Giannis more than Jokic. That's the only reason I
Really?
can think of.
That's kind of random because neither one of them has ever
Have the
gotten
Bucks
free
made
agents.
any
They got
good
Drew Holiday.
signing?
Well,
That was a
that was a
trade.
trade, yeah.
for the trade.
I don't know if they made
So-
any signings.
And neither of the Nuggets, really.
They
That's
got
true. They
That's
numbers
all
signings.
through the
It's all
draft.
trades, all trades and drafting.
Yeah.
I think most of it has to do with the small market too. Does anyone want to live in
Yeah.
Denver and anyone want to live in Milwaukee?
That's fair.
If you tell me if Jokic played in Miami, no one would want to go play in Miami. You tell me if Giannis played in LA, no one would want to go to LA.
Yeah, but is that because it's Giannis and Jokic? Or?
I genuinely think it's more market than it is
Yeah.
player.
yeah.
I think I'm gonna take Giannis. I think Giannis, he can really play off another star. Like if he got like a Damian Lillard or an elite guard, I think he could play better alongside them than Jokic would. Personally, I know Jamal Murray still went off and Jokic went off together, but I could see Giannis just in a pick and roll setting. I really like Giannis, and Jokic is more kind of like a
Yeah,
I don't know.
Jokic has to have the ball in his hands to be effective.
Yeah.
Giannis can just sit on like the block and just cut.
Yeah.
You can just get easy dunks every time.
yeah. And if he doesn't get the ball in offense, he's gonna impact on defense. While
Yeah.
Jokic really, Jokic is still a good defender, but he's not.
He's not Giannis.
No, he's not
Not
Giannis.
even close.
Okay.
I have a would you rather if you guys
Did
want
you,
to
did
hear
you
it.
say yours?
What?
Would you rather have Giannis or Jokic?
I'm not answering this because I feel like I'm one of the bigger Jokic advocates on this podcast.
So then say
Then
Jokic.
go ahead and say Jokic.
Okay.
But you don't
We
believe
need
it. Is that what you're
controversy.
saying?
The thing is, I want to say Jokic, but I know the right answer is Giannis, so I'm gonna say Giannis.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because Giannis is just
it's
Giannis.
Giannis.
It's Giannis.
It's Jokic. I don't know. Okay, my would you rather is if you had let's say you're in the finals, right?
Okay.
Would you rather have on your team Pete Kawhi or KD? Pete Kawhi or Pete KD to win your team that series?
Okay.
I feel like
Hold on,
this is
I don't
an
have to-
easy
Yeah.
answer.
This is a very easy answer.
I'm taking Pete Kawhi every day of the week, 24/7, 365, Monday through Sunday, at church, at home, at work, at school. Every single day I'm taking Kawhi. Do you know why? Because Kawhi has proven twice that he can be the best player in a finals series and win. KD, those finals MVPs, those are debatable. Steph should have had one of those, I think, easily. I think Steph was robbed of one of those finals MVPs.
Okay. One. Are you telling me you're taking Kawhi in 2014 over peak Kevin Durant?
That wasn't peak
That wasn't peak Kawhi.
No, but
Kawhi
you just said Kawhi proved it in 2 different times. Are you really using that first time? Is that...
I'm saying Kawhi has proven that he can go out there and win.
That's cool.
But
now
as the
answer
best
my
player in
question.
the
Would you
series.
rather have 2014 Kawhi
That's not the question,
or peak
though.
Kevin
That
Durant?
wasn't the
That's my question.
Would you rather
That's my
peak
question.
Kawhi? You're changing the question.
You're doing
That doesn't matter. Answer
non-peak
it.
Kawhi versus the best KD.
Okay, if you're just talking about a 1-year playoff peak, I'm taking Kawhi. But if you're just taking it in general peak, because sometimes when people talk about peak, you can talk about one playoff run, or you can just talk about overall in their prime. If you're just talking about a 1 playoff run, I'm taking Kawhi. If you're just talking about overall, I'm taking Kevin Durant. It's not even close.
As a LeBron fan, I've had to deal with these two players aggravatedly. Okay, I've had to see them literally play LeBron in the finals more than any other team. So it's a bit frustrating for me to answer this question because if there's two, like I honestly, okay, wow, that was bad. I am a LeBron fan, honestly. So it's like, wow, I have LeBron on my team. I know we're gonna be having a good series, whatever. But when we play Kawhi Leonard and Kevin Durant, all that goes out the fucking window and I start shitting my pants. Yep. Just because I've seen what they can do against them. So for me, this question, I'm going to say KD just because of how many times he's fucked LeBron in the ass. I'd rather have KD.
But that's the Warriors.
I don't give a
Come on, that's
fuck.
not
I don't give a
That's not
fuck.
just KD. That's not just KD.
I don't care. I've seen
I don't
what this
remember
guy
Kawhi
can do.
hitting a dagger over LeBron James.
It's just like KD scares me, bro.
Do you remember that?
I remember hitting on Jimmy Butler though.
Okay, are we talking? We're not talking about this.
Like, Pete Kawhi
Yeah, you
is a
should've
great
been.
player. Lord behold, if he didn't travel, I don't know if they even make the finals. However, you know what Kevin Durant's gonna fucking do on the basketball court in the finals. You've seen what he can do. Sure, he played with the Warriors. Who gives a fuck? It's peak Kevin Durant. He's pulling up one dribble pull up over anybody in the league. No one's fucking guarding that. Kawhi's great. Kawhi's a great player.
Really?
But I'm more scared of Kevin Durant than the finals.
I will say Kevin Durant is the better shot creator.
Yeah.
I think everything else Kawhi does better.
I would say
I'd say
Playmaking
Kevin
is a
Durant is the
toss-up,
better
but he's a better
defender.
defender.
Kevin Durant's a better offensive player in every aspect of basketball and offensively.
Kevin Durant's a way better playmaker. I don't like.
He
I
is.
don't.
Is he?
Yes. Yes.
Did you not see him in the Nets series?
Yes.
Against the Bucks.
Yes.
Kevin Durant picking
Durant's a
apart
better-
the-
Is that KD's peak?
If we're
I
talking
also
about
saw him turn the ball over a lot in that net series against the Celtics.
Yeah.
if we're talking
When it
about a
actually
one
matters.
series peak, that series against the Bucks actually was his one series.
Kawhi can be slowed down
my
on the
opinion.
offensive end, and in the finals where every possession matters, you're gonna need stops.
could've
And
get it
Kawhi
done.
Leonard,
The best
blatantly,
he's ever been,
Kawhi
he
Leonard
couldn't
can
get
be
it done.
stopped. Am I
It's empty
wrong?
stats.
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard can be stopped on the offensive end. Kawhi Leonard can be stopped.
When he's at his peak?
Yes, Kawhi Leonard can be stopped.
No, he
No.
can't.
I mean-
I have literally seen Kawhi.
I have seen a
completely
36-year-old
take-
LeBron James do it in the bubble.
I saw Kawhi travel
I
for
saw
game one.
Kawhi take
Like-
over games in ways that like he picks apart the defense and gets to his spot in the mid-range. He is one of the best players in the NBA at getting to the spot that he wants to get to. And I think that's such a valuable skill to have because there's no one that you can put on him that's either stronger than him. They're not going to be stronger than him and quicker than him. So he's either going to beat them to the spot or he's going to bully them to the spot.
Okay, but who's stopping KD?
You kind of just described Kevin Durant. Kevin
Durant's
Durant's going to get to his
like,
spot.
you did the same
Kevin
thing.
Durant can't get. Kevin Durant can just shoot from
He
anywhere.
just shoots over.
Well,
it.
yeah.
He doesn't get to the spot. He just goes there and just
Kevin
goes.
Durant is a better offensive player than Kawhi. Okay? But in those series against LeBron, Kevin Durant wasn't the primary defender on LeBron. But when Kawhi plays LeBron, Kawhi's
Okay, yeah,
defending LeBron.
one's severely better on defense, one's better on offense.
So he's also
So
doing.
yeah,
he's
one
also
is severely better on defense, and offensively, they're relatively close, even though Kevin Durant is
Kevin
better.
Durant
doing exactly
is
what Kevin
miserable.
Durant does
not
on
me.
offense, and then he's
I
also
just
doing
would
rather
rather
on defense.
If you want someone
He's
to
not.
win you games and win you a series, I would rather have Kawhi Leonard than Kevin Durant
Because,
he's
listen.
proven that he can go out there and win a series. Kevin Durant to me never proved that he could go out there and win a finals because he joined the best team in the NBA.
The way that you're talking about Kawhi needs a lot of context because Kawhi Leonard was not dropping like It wasn't even when Kawhi Leonard was on the Spurs playing LeBron James. Yes, he was guarding LeBron, the best player on the other end, but he wasn't doing anything near peak Kevin Durant.
Can we stop talking about the Spurs, Kawhi? This isn't.
But no, but Kawhi was in his peak in 2019.
No.
He's not climbing up.
Peak is literally, I think peak of as like a 4 to 5 year stretch. That's what I think of as a peak. That's their peak. That's their prime. That's
But we still
5
haven't
years
seen the end of the peak of Kawhi yet. We still haven't.
Kawhi's peak to me was in 2016, 2017.
Yes,
Finished.
that was the best.
That
Kawhi
was the
Leonard.
best
And that was
Kawhi.
4 years ago.
And when they
Yes.
were playing the Warriors, do you guys remember what happened Game 1?
They would have beat
The
them.
Spurs
They would have
were
beat
up
them. They would have beat
damn
them,
near
I'm not gonna lie.
30 at one point in that game.
They were.
And then Kawhi got hurt.
They did have a squad though. It wasn't just like Kawhi.
It wasn't just Kawhi, but you're
Kawhi was
telling
the-
me,
Kawhi was
you're
the
telling me
engine.
that
Kawhi was the
that
engine,
squad
yeah.
was comparable.
Kawhi and
like,
who? LaMarcus?
LaMarcus. Who else was on the team? They still have-
Kawhi, LaMarcus,
It
and
wasn't really. It was just.
it was,
they had a
no, it was a
squad.
solid.
No, I remember they
had
had
a
a
Look
team.
at the roster. I
They had
actually
a team.
don't
Danny
remember.
Green. That's Danny
Yeah,
Green.
they had
They
Danny
had
Green
Danny
still.
Green. They had.
I know I'm missing a couple.
Did they have
players.
DeJounte?
I'm looking
No,
it
I
up
don't
right
think
now,
they
No,
but
they did. It was like rookie.
Yeah, but he doesn't play.
Yeah,
didn't play.
he barely
Yeah.
played.
But I mean, I think people also forget that like the year before that, when the Warriors went 73-9, the Spurs were right with them.
Spurs
the
had
whole
65
year.
wins or something.
They were 40-1 at home.
Wow, that's kind of.
Tim Duncan was on that team, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was.
I think so.
So this team, this Spurs team, you had Tony Parker,
It's,
who was at the latter end of his
He was,
career.
yeah, it was
He was still good.
The
though.
next year he went to the
Murray,
Hornets.
Murray, who was young, Patty Mills, solid,
solid.
Danny Green and Manu,
Manu old.
Kawhi and Kyle Anderson. You
Manu
also
was-
had Bryn Forbes.
Manu was old, but he still snatched Harden's shit that year. Did he not?
I think it was.
It was the year after. Because
no,
Tony
are
was
you sure?
gone. Tony was gone.
That was the year before.
I don't know.
I thought it was the year before. I thought it was.
No, because
15,
it was
16.
just Manu by himself.
David Lee, another guy, kind of getting towards the end of the productive part of his career. LaMarcus Aldridge and Pau Gasol. And I'm actually
Oh,
I'm gonna look.
Pau.
I'm gonna look
That's
at
who it
Pau
was.
right now and see what he averaged that year.
Probably not too good, but it was decent.
12,
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
8, 12 and 8 basically.
How many minutes?
25.4
That's
minutes
not
per
bad.
game,
That's not bad.
shooting 50% from the field.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
It's not.
They just had a good
They
squad.
had a good
around
squad,
He
yeah.
shot 54% from 3.
But anyways, the correct answer is Kevin Durant.
It's Katie. It's Katie.
It's just Katie. It's just Katie. I understand like Kawhi.
That's a weird way
Kawhi's
to
great.
pronounce
Kawhi's
Kawhi's
great,
name,
but
but-
Kawhi's good. I don't get this.
Okay, wait. So can I ask?
It's not an obsession.
If you
just
listen,
I just
listen,
think
what
he's
I've seen.
better at his peak than Kevin Durant.
No,
I
okay,
just would
listen.
rather have Kawhi to win a final series at his peak
Cam,
than Kevin Durant.
Take longevity out of the conversation.
There
If you're
you
just
go.
comparing Kevin Durant and Kawhi Leonard's peaks,
Yeah.
and you put them and you're ranking all time, you're putting Kawhi above KD. Because the only reason that you would have KD with your argument, the only reason that you would have Kevin Durant or
Kevin
Kevin
Durant's
over,
had better longevity than Kawhi.
Yeah.
so you take longevity out and you're just saying Kawhi Leonard's a better
Kawhi
all-time
Leonard's
player.
peak was better than Kevin Durant's peak. Yes. Kawhi Leonard at his peak was a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, finishing
Back to
top
back.
3 in MVP
Only 3 other
voting,
people did that.
finishing top 3 in MVP voting. He's arguably the greatest player to never win an MVP, and he probably should have won one. He would have definitely won one in
Who does he
2015.
deserve it
16.
over?
I'll look at that
You
stuff.
think
right now.
he deserves it over Curry?
Not Curry
He
that
deserves
year.
it over Harden?
I'm saying not Curry that
He deserves
year.
it over Giannis?
So that Westbrook year when it was Westbrook and Harden.
Right, he deserves it over Westbrook.
I mean,
He
people
didn't
say
over Harden. He didn't over Harden.
People were saying Harden
deserved it
would
over
deserve it.
Westbrook.
I think Harden deserved it. I think Harden
I
should have
think
like 2 or
Kawhi
3
deserved it
MVPs.
over Harden. So if you want to
I said Westbrook deserved it, but like
So you're
that was just being
no,
in
no.
the time. That was being like looking back.
Yeah, looking back,
Yeah.
obviously hindsight 2020. Everyone at the time said Westbrook's a clear MVP. Hindsight's 2020.
Yeah.
No question.
Because triple doubles are a fake stat. Like, that's what
Okay.
it were.
Obviously, but Westbrook deserved
Westbrook's
it.
turned the triple double into a fake set. That's the
That's
thing.
so
Yeah.
great. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. This is gonna be a funny one. Would you rather? Okay, your life is on the line, and one of these things have to happen for your life to be saved. Which one do you pick? Jalen Green completing a dunk in the dunk contest, or Ben Simmons making a free throw in the playoffs?
Jalen Green's gonna miss a dunk or make a dunk.
No, he has to make.
make
the
Does he
dunk.
got?
Yeah,
Does it
Jalen
have to
Green.
be like
Does
it have to be, like,
an
really
actual
flashy?
dunker? Is
No,
it-
he has to try.
Aaron
You have to like.
Rodgers?
It's him trying to win the dunk contest. So you have to actually do something to get you really good points.
Like, does he have like the 3 chances or just one?
So, it's one chance for both. Both one for Ben
Oh.
Simmons. Here's my thing: Ben Simmons can shoot 33% from free throw, or that's what he shot about. Like he shot like 36% in the playoffs last season or the season before. Jalen Green for some of his dunks, I actually think he took 5 or 6 attempts.
Yeah.
So I'm taking a Ben Simmons free throw over Jalen Green completed. And I love Jalen Green, but that was the craziest, most cringe moment in dunk contest history.
First off, just shoot me in the head if I'm ever put in that situation. just don't make me watch that shit. Just let me go out in peace. But
Yeah. I'd rather have the three. I'd rather have Ben Simmons.
yeah, Ben Simmons.
Yep.
Okay, this is actually like funny, but like I'm just gonna say it. Shots in the air, and you need a offensive rebound.
Yeah.
You need it. You need an offensive rebound. Andre Drummond,
That's what I was thinking of.
Andre Drummond, or Wilt Chamberlain. Answer the question. Answer the question.
Is it like really bad that I have to say Drummond?
Answer the question.
Look. Wilt played against plumbers. Remember.
I'm taking Drummond. I'm taking Drummond.
I'm taking Drummond.
Is Drummond the greatest rebounder ever?
No.
Is he better than Rodman?
No.
At the end of his career, he might be. But not
Peak Drummond?
Dude, he was grabbing like 20 boards a game.
I'll say
look at
peak
the
Drummond.
stats.
I'll say peak Drummond.
I'm still saying Rodman. Are we talking about rebounding skill? Because
Who's the best rebounder of all time?
It's Rodman, I think.
I'm not mad at it.
So at his peak, Drummond averaged 16 a game. At Dennis Rodman's peak, he averaged 18.7.
Mm-hmm.
And then he averaged 18.3 the
18.3.
next 17.3 16.8
This is
14.9,
He led rebounding 1, 2,
16.1,
3, 4, 5, 6,
15.0.
7 years in a row.
That's crazy. He's a 6'7" guy.
Yeah.
But anyway, can't answer the question. Wilt Chamberlain or Andre Drummond to get you a rebound? Why are you thinking of it? If you're thinking of it,
Just
then
say it.
Just
Just
say
Wilt
it.
Chamberlain.
Wilt Chamberlain?
Yeah, I'm taking Wilt.
Why?
Have you seen his vertical?
Yeah,
Like,
but
on
have you
some-
seen Andre
Yeah.
Drummond?
Yes, unfortunately, I have had to watch Andre Drummond play basketball.
The big penguin.
Okay. I think I have another one.
Okay.
A bit more serious. Actually, I do have a really funny one that we're gonna get to. Actually,
Okay.
but would you right now rather be a Rockets fan or a Magic fan right now in terms of just like youth? You know, who has the best?
Yeah,
Rockets.
I'm gonna say Magic.
Rockets. You're a fucking loser.
I
Rockets.
kind of want to go back.
There's
to-
so much more exciting to watch.
Rockets,
too.
Rockets.
I just feel like Paulo is going to be better than anyone on the Rockets in the future.
I'm sorry.
I definitely think he will be.
Paulo's cool to watch, but I'd rather watch Jalen Green.
I
and
still
KPJ
believe-
play basketball.
Yeah.
So you're saying you don't like watching?
No, Paulo's fun to
LeBron
watch.
James play
Well, then you're-
basketball or
Paulo's
Ben
fun to
Simmons
watch.
play
But
basketball.
I'd rather watch KPJ
You just
and
compare-
Jalen Green.
Paulo Banchero to LeBron James.
I didn't say they're the exact.
Cam, you
same.
need to leave.
you just
need to
said-
leave the podcast right now.
I mean, if you
Would
talk about
you rather?
No. Would you rather LeBron James or Paulo Banchero?
In principle,
I wouldn't
what's
let it
the
slide
difference
if you said
between
Blake.
Paulo Banchero, Paulo Banchero, and LeBron James? They're both big and burly,
Cam,
and they play the
Cam, 5
floor.
seconds away from knocking your head off.
Like genuinely, what is the difference between what was his name, Stromile Swift or Stromile Smith or whatever, and LeBron James?
Okay.
Like, what's the difference?
Okay. 4 championships.
Putting aside their basketball skill, what is the difference?
Everything. Quite literally everything.
I think Jalen Suggs, he had, one of the most historical bad rookie seasons ever when you just talk about efficiency. But he still has the capabilities of being, I think he'll definitely be better than Kevin Porter Jr. If we're just going head to head, I'm taking Paulo over Jalen. I'm taking Suggs over KPJ. Franz versus Jabari Smith. I'll take Jabari
How many
Smith
Rocket
slightly.
games have you guys watched?
All I know
How
is
many Jalen?
the Rockets fans I talk to hate KPJ. You are in the
I
very
love
minority.
I love it because he's just fun to watch. Like his ISO game is cool, but I'm talking about Jalen Green. Jalen Green's the most fun player to watch on that team, and it's not close. I don't know how many times Jalen, dude. Oh my god,
He's
he'll cook.
he is electric. to
He'll
watch.
cook, and then when he jumps, it's dude. No.
Like that game versus the Lakers.
Dude, yeah, we're hitting the step back threes. I was like,
That
holy
was
shit.
nasty.
I watched 3 Rockets games.
Exactly, like
Yeah.
Who was fun on the fucking Magic?
Nobody's on.
Y'all want to watch Franz Wagner layups?
I mean, I guess but the Magic will be
Fantasy Go?
I play like Franz. Like, why wouldn't I want to watch
Come
him?
on, bro.
the Magic will actually be a more successful team in the future. So I mean, I
They
invest in
will.
them.
Okay, being successful and being fun is different.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'd
Would you
rather be a
would
fan
you
of a team
rather have
that's-
been a fan of the Clippers or like the Warriors or the Spurs or the Cavs over that time period?
I mean, the Clippers weren't better than
The
the.
Clippers were a more fun team to watch,
They were like a 1 seed.
but they didn't win.
They won enough.
Apparently
Who gives a
not.
fuck about winning in the playoffs when you're a good team in the regular season.
That's fun enough.
I mean, I want my team to win in the playoffs.
Obviously, yeah, but like we're comparing two dog shit teams right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're talking about being a fan of
Well, I'm
them
just talking about-
for the future.
So I said a fan, but I really just meant like the core. Like which would you rather have? That's kind of what I meant. I mean, I guess I said a fan, but
I'm still taking the Rockets.
I don't know. I think I believe in Jalen Green, but he's going to have to show me more in 2 months when everyone's
Forgetting
like
about Big
not
Shen,
caring.
bro. Big Sengun.
he's going to be good. I mean, I don't know. I really like Wendell Carter. Like I think he'll be better than Sengun probably, but
Didn't they resign
They'll both be
Mobamba too?
Yeah.
I'm
Actually,
I'm done with
I forgot
Bamba.
the Magic got Bull Wolf. I'm going Magic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Cam, you have any more?
No, if you got a funny one, I mean, could throw out a couple of
Okay.
but they're fairly boring.
Would you rather have Damian Lillard's rapping ability or Victor Oladipo's voice?
Oladipo's
Oh,
voice.
Depot's voice.
I'm
I'm
going
pulling
Oladipo.
so many more.
Oh my
so many
God.
bitches, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I feel Dame's like a good rapper. He's a bit generic.
He's not even the
Nothing
best.
really
He's not
stands
even
out
the
with
best
him.
rapper in the league.
Are you really? I mean, is he in the league still?
I didn't say names.
Miles Bridges.
I didn't say names. I didn't say names.
I'm taking Lonzo Ball.
Okay.
Bees on the man.
So that's really all I have. We want to go on to NFL talk.
Let's go, Cam.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's save it.
No, let's talk about it right now.
No, we gotta
no,
save
no,
it. We gotta
no.
get into it in a little bit. But like, all right, first, have any of you really been paying attention to like NFL stuff? 'Cause that'll listen
I
to
have
you.
a decent amount.
Decently.
Oh, I mean,
Fuck the Dolphins.
A little bit.
The Dolphins.
Fuck the
actually need to
Dolphins.
be-
You know much about the Eagles? Jalen Hurts.
I know about AJ
Eagles.
Brown.
Yeah,
Eagles.
they're good as fuck.
Are they for real? Do you
Yes.
think Jalen Hurts
Yeah.
is for real?
Yes. What do you
Three
mean
games
is he
in.
for
3
real?
games in. You're gonna say he's for
Dude,
real?
the talent's there.
I'm just asking.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
It depends on what you mean by for real.
Like, are they going to be a top like 2 or 3?
They'll make the
team
playoffs.
In the
They'll win their division.
name some teams in their division.
So you got the Cowboys,
Cowboys,
the Giants,
Giants,
and
the
absolute dog
Commanders?
shit.
Yeah, Commanders.
Yeah,
They're winning their
That's
division.
the most.
Yeah, they're
That's
winning
actually
their
like the
division.
worst division.
They're
I've
winning
ever
their
heard in my
division
life.
easily. Yeah, so they're for real.
So then, by that
But
definition,
does that make you for real? Like, does that make you a contender? Are they a contender? I guess is what I'm asking. Are the Eagles? Do the Eagles have a chance to win the Super Bowl?
The Jacksonville Jaguars almost made the Super Bowl, Cam. The Eagles have a chance. Okay.
You're
I
forgetting.
mean, everyone has
It's
a
all
chance.
about-
it's like Bortles.
It's all about matchups, really.
It's literally all about matchups. Anything could happen any week.
Mm-hmm.
NFL's a crazy place.
I'd say Hurts looks like a top 5-6 quarterback. I think for sure.
It's not crazy to say. Yeah.
He's got my favorite wide receiver on his team.
All right, and speaking of the Jaguars, do you think they're actually a legitimate threat to win the AFC South?
No.
No.
They had a good couple weeks. Trevor Lawrence looks better, but I don't know. We'll see.
Who's winning the AFC South then? Is it the Titans again?
It better be the Titans. I'm gonna freak out.
I have a hard time with that division, Cam, because it can go any way. It could go any way. So I'm not gonna like determine a winner on that. Right
Besides the Texans.
now. Yeah,
No, the Texans aren't doing
yeah,
it.
obviously.
I'm just gonna stick with my boy Matt Ryan. Go Colts.
Go Colts. Yeah.
Even though they would do.
I don't know,
they
that
did
division
awful.
that division sucks. So
Yeah.
it could go to anyone.
All right, one more thing, I guess. Is Lamar Jackson the most impactful player in the NFL
Yes.
right now?
Yes. Yes.
You'd say yes?
Yes.
Say yes.
I mean,
Without-
so far he's looked like
Without a
no consideration of an Aaron Donald, no
No.
consideration
No.
of anyone like that?
No.
No.
Okay.
Who else is throwing 4 touchdowns a game with the 100 running yards?
I don't think anyone else is.
Exactly. The price of the brick going up, Ravens. The price of the brick is going up.
All right. Now, I can feel my blood pressure rising already.
Yeah, you know what? We're all gonna take a
Y'all,
step back.
y'all want
we're
to say
just gonna-
anything?
Yeah,
You want to say anything?
I get right in front of the
All
camera.
right, all right,
Get
all
in
right.
front
Yeah,
of the
you
camera.
just.
So
This is all you.
I'm gonna set the computer down. I'm gonna scoot over here. I'm gonna get real close to the mic.
Move the mic closer to
Right,
you.
right, right.
No, this is
Right,
you.
right. I have a PSA for the team known as the Las Vegas Raiders, formerly the Oakland Raiders, currently a complete piece of dog shit. I have low expectations. I really do. I'm a Raiders fan, okay? I've been for my entire life. We've made the playoffs twice. We have never won a playoff game since I've been born. We have had 2 winning seasons since I was born. We had a #1 overall pick, and we wasted it on Jamarcus Russell. Okay?
Who?
Exactly.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, okay. I know you're gonna go off on this. You know what? Just keep going. Keep going. I'll say
finish.
Go off. You're on a tangent.
I mean, if you have a thought, you're
no,
gonna
It's
you're gonna
about
want to
your
get it
favorite.
in.
It's about your favorite guy in the world,
Yeah.
Josh McDaniels.
What about him?
Just-
What about him? What about him? No, I
Okay,
want to hear it now. I want to
so
hear it
I
now.
saw this podcast. You know how he had his little Broncos. You know what happened when he was on the Broncos?
Yeah.
He cheated. Mm-hmm. Do you know about this?
Not really. No.
Okay, so the Broncos, Brandon Marshall, Jay Cutler, all them,
Mm-hmm.
right? When they had the squad, Josh McDaniels obviously was in the coaching staff. Josh McDaniels, the players would. It was on a podcast. I forgot who it was, but it was the one that Brandon Marshall's on. I think it's I Am Athlete.
Yeah. Okay.
They were one of the players came on and would talk with Brandon Marshall about how they started the season 4-0 that year, and every time they listened to what Josh McDaniels said, they would just win. And then all of a sudden, their tape guy got fired from the team because he was recording other teams' practices, and they would show it to Josh. A week later, Josh McDaniels got fired because they cheated. And then
no surprise,
the
he came
Broncos
from the
finished the
Patriots.
rest of the season with 6 wins. They started 4-0 and finished with 6 wins. Mm-hmm. That's your coach.
That is my coach, if you can call him that. So, let's get into it, shall we? Let's really get into the meat of this. I'm gonna start off with yeah, you know what? I am gonna start there. Devontae Adams. Hi. Welcome to Las Vegas. Would you like to play like the number 1 receiver in the NFL? Because currently, a receiver by the name of Mac Hollins, who prior to this year had 223 receiving yards in his most productive season, currently has more receiving yards than you. I'm not blaming you entirely, but you said you were going from a Hall of Fame quarterback to a Hall of Fame quarterback. I don't understand why all of a sudden, you're not getting the ball. Which brings me to my next point, or shall I say, my next issue that I would like to address. Derek Carr, I have all the respect in the world for you. You are the reason we made the playoffs last year. You have kept this team together through a lot of shit, okay? And you are primarily the only reason that this team hasn't been absolutely and completely just a disgrace to football, for the last 5 years, right? One good game in 3 games, right? First week, you threw 3 interceptions in a winnable game. The next week, you missed throws several times that would have won us that game. I'm not saying you're the reason we lost that game, but come on. You want to be a top 10 quarterback, it's time to be a top 10 quarterback. Max Crosby, I have nothing to say to you. Great job.
It's coming. It's coming.
But that gets us to the other side of the defensive line. The criminal, the absolute thief, by the name of Chandler Jones.
Part 2.
Do you understand how much we're paying him right now? $14 million a year. He has 6 tackles. Do you understand how that breaks down money-wise per game? We have paid this man over $2.5 million to get 6 tackles. Each of his tackles is currently worth over $400,000.
So what do you want him to do? like what do you want?
What do I want him to do?
He's trying.
Is he trying? Are you trying? Are you? Look me in the eyes, Chandler. Are you trying?
Oh my god.
Bro, you got Chandler in his wheels.
We're only 3 games into the season. There's time to
You keep giving
not
yourself
go
hope. Bro.
0-17.
You're giving yourself hope. Do you know what week it is?
It's week 4.
It's Broncos week.
It's Broncos
bitch.
week?
It's Broncos week.
Yeah, who have you beat exactly? Who? 3 teams led by Davis Mills. You almost didn't beat a team led by Davis Mills. You managed to beat a team, or not beat a team, led by Geno Smith.
And you had the worst game on Sunday Night Football I've ever watched.
And you only won because...
does it matter? Because we're 2-1,
Even
and
the
your
Falcons beat
team
Geno Smith.
is 0-3.
Yeah.
So does it
I would
matter?
say you're going to be 2-2
Cam,
after this
Cam.
week, but I have absolutely no faith in this team.
So you're saying the Raiders will
Whatsoever.
lose?
I'm saying it's going to probably be a tie. I think
He doesn't want to accept losses. Where's the hope at? Man?
Where's the hope?
Where's
Let
this
me
hope
tell you
coming
where
from?
my hope went. Hold on. Sorry. Got to do a little bit of research to fully.
Okay,
Fully get into
while
this.
Cam's doing some research, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about some shit. Cam, obviously the Raiders are struggling. How much of that is to blame to the coaching versus the players, like versus the player performance?
From what I've seen, I'd say genuinely I've seen a lack of effort from several players this year. I've seen productivity drop off a lot, and I just think the culture isn't the same. And
What changed?
I think it genuinely was the coaching. I think Rich Bisaccia, for whatever shortcomings he may have had as a strategic coach, created a culture in that locker room where guys wanted to follow him. They wanted him to be there. And then the Raiders decided to not even give him a spot on their staff. Not even be a special teams coordinator. He went to Green Bay to be a special teams coordinator. Like, you couldn't give him a better job than what he already had. That is an organizational problem. But for me, 60-70% of the blame is to coaching.
Okay, so the coach is ass.
Yeah.
The players are ass.
Yeah.
How does it get better?
I don't think it does.
Where does it? Where does it? Where
I
does
don't
it?
Where's the turnaround?
Where,
Where's
like,
the
like,
turnaround?
like obviously when you look at NBA teams struggling,
Okay,
you're like
okay.
they need to do this better. They need to do
So
this better. What do the
before I
Raiders
get
need to do better?
into my final rant, I think the only way it really turns around is if we consistently hunt Devontae Adams on offense and hunt him out and get him the ball and just force him to the ball almost, okay? At some point, you brought in the guy that a lot of people consider to be the best receiver in the league, or at least top 3. You need to get him the ball. I mean, really, you need to get him the
What about
ball.
Waller?
Waller dropped 4. I know it may not be registered as 4 passes, but he dropped 4 potential touchdowns
sucks.
last week. He doesn't suck. I won't say Waller sucks, but he had a bad week last week,
Okay.
and I need to see him do a lot better this week. Okay?
What about your run game?
We need to give the ball to Josh Jacobs more.
I feel like from
He's-
what I've seen
he's-
from the Raiders, it's just a pass every time.
He's running really well right now, especially because he's on a contract here and he wants a good contract, and we're just not giving him the ball.
A lot of that is coaching, I will say.
And speaking of coaching,
Oh shit!
you know my feelings on this. I've very well
He's like a
expressed them.
soundboard quarterback.
But
Like soundboard, bro.
Get out of there.
We low-key might have to. I'm not gonna lie. Corey just shit his fucking elbow.
I like-
I saw him smile. That was funny as fuck.
Joshua Thomas McDaniels. Why are you here? Tell me legitimately. Why are you a head coach of the Oakland Raiders, or the Las Vegas Raiders, formerly Oakland? I wish they were still in Oakland because it's been a complete shit show since we went to Vegas. But anyway, why are you here? What is your purpose? What is your reason? Do you have a reason? Do you have a purpose? Because what I have seen from you so far is an utter lack of any coaching skill whatsoever, no ability to lead the team. You, instead of being a coach in critical situations, have decided to crawl up your own ass and completely fuck away every single game we have played this year.
Is it his fault Hunter Renfrow fumbled?
No, but you know what is his fault? Blowing a 20-0 halftime lead.
It's fine.
The man, I hate to admit it, everyone has their thing. He has a screen fetish, and there's nothing you can do about it. Do you know how many times I had to watch us throw a screen in the last game when we have Devontae Adams and Darren Waller and all of these supposed weapons to throw down the field to? But no, let's throw a screen on 3rd and 18. Because why not?
Every time you guys threw a screen, I was so happy. If you guys don't know, I am a Titans fan. In watching that game, we didn't score the second half. I thought the game was over. You guys just threw screen after screen, and
Devontae Adams needs to get some more touches. It was just sad.
And minor thing I would like to address. The defensive coordinator, prior to Sunday's game, said that he was excited for the opportunity to play Derrick Henry. No! No! You're not excited to play Derrick Henry! You're game planning! You're trying to figure out how to make sure he doesn't gain any yardage whatsoever! You're not sitting there all giddy on your seat. Oh, I gotta play Derrick Henry this week! No! This is about winning football games! Jesus Christ.
Not every team can have a good defense.
You guys let Robert Woods average 21 yards per catch.
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
The Washington.
Pat Surtain could never.
But to really just focus on what I want to focus on. Josh McDaniels. You are, at least in theory, a head coach, are you not? And by that reasoning, that would mean that you actually coach the team, right? Like you actually put a game plan in place to win games, not to what's the word? Be a pussy.
Wow.
This team has the talent to win games, and yet we are the only 3-0 team in football, or 0-3. Sorry, God. Wow.
You wish
I
you were
wish.
3-0.
I wish. Maybe I had a dream where we actually could win games when we're up by 20 points at halftime. I genuinely don't know what to do for this team. If they do not win this week, I think there needs to be serious consideration in that
If you
organization.
listen to Nathaniel Hackett,
If we lose to a man who manages a game clock like a 4-year-old, who needs his own crowd to count down the play clock for him, I will drive to Josh McDaniels' house and have a legitimate conversation with him about whether he needs to go to therapy for his obvious addiction to being completely fucked in the ass every time we play a football game.
it's okay, Cam. Let it out.
They don't win this week. I think there needs to be serious consideration in the organization as to whether or not we want to keep Josh McDaniels. I mean, let him finish out the season, but this team should not be 0-3. This team should not be the only 0-3 team in football.
What happens if you lose this week? And you start 0-4? And then who do you guys
Well,
play week after this week?
Week after this week, we play the Chiefs.
So
we're
you start
starting
0-5.
0-5.
If you start 0-5, what happens?
If we start 0-5, first of all, the season's over. Okay.
Yeah.
Season's over.
A line.
It's there's no other. We have to play the Rams too. We have to play the Chiefs again, the Broncos again, the Chargers again. Season's over. Okay.
Number one pick? What if you just tanked?
It's a legitimate option. You know.
Yeah, you guys used to be a feared team.
Why'd you
When?
say Chargers?
LA.
Chargers suck.
When were we? L.A.
When you guys
when we
like
were in
the 80s.
So you mean before I was born?
Yeah.
You mean before I was even like a sperm in my dad's balls? Like you think you before that? Yeah, no, we were feared. You know what we are now? We're the Raiders.
The Raiders are always going to raid.
And you know what? The problem is I will continue to support this team until I fucking die, which may be soon if this team continues to give me heart attacks and doesn't give me anything positive at the end. It's like if you hired a prostitute to just abuse you and do nothing else.
Hear me out.
Okay.
She doesn't have green hair.
Okay, never mind.
Okay.
Ew.
What?
Green?
Green?
Out of all the colors?
That's his thing.
Yo, bro, get off my dick. Okay.
Okay.
The Raiders will Raider, and the Raiders will Raider until they die. With that, being
being
said,
said-
let's transition. Do we have any other topics we want to talk about on this podcast, Corby?
I don't think we do.
I feel like that.
I feel like
ended off
I feel
very
like
great.
we should end on that.
Okay.
This is our podcast. This is
Please win this week.
This is Talk Yours. Our next episode is going to be our prediction standings and our award predictions for the 2022-2023 NBA season. And we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.